All right, so we're live. Whoops. All right, so we're live, folks, back here in Berkeley Springs. So this is just the post wrap up. We're getting ready to leave. We got driver Justin getting ready to take us back as he did this morning, taking us here. So it's been wrapped up already. Yeah. That's a CB in the background. We got 0 people on for right now. That's okay. I'm just gonna keep commentating until there's.
Let's check on Brian here one more time before we leave. Yeah.
That's a CB you hear in the background. So we're just here facing, I think, northbound. Oops. Oops. What is this? I know that we're facing kind of the opposite side of traffic the way that we're parked. Oops. Yeah. So we're just getting ready to head on back. Whoops. Oh. All right, so we got 2 people on right now. Thanks for tuning in. You don't have to identify yourselves. That's fine. Don't mind that. That's a CB in the background. So I want to thank you. Let's see, what time is it? 9:21 Eastern Standard Time. So we're just heading back. Whoops. So we're going northbound. Want to thank you both. So we're going to be heading back to campus. Whoops. Heading from what looked to have been the Civic Center, or basically here by the courthouse. Whoop. Just heading back around. All right. Because we were actually parked on the opposite side of traffic, actually in front of that pickup truck. So it felt kind of awkward being parked on the opposite side. Whoops. Yeah. All right, so that is base. All right, so we're coming in on back in on the parking lot. So I want to thank you 3. Ooh, Sandy V. Hi, Sandy V. This is U-Haul, but this is actually my streaming channel. Oh. Now, if you need to leave the CB on, then that's okay. Sandy V is the first guest here on tonight. So I think this is the first time that I guess you're introducing, because I just started this channel yesterday. So I know I had a long-ass title I had to put in there, and I had to make sure to be specific. This morning's title, I think, was just called Live Stream. So a lot of you, because I wasn't descriptive, oh, there we go, got a U-Haul. Yeah, so that is me. U-Haul is the channel that I watch. This channel is the one that I use to post videos. So I want to thank you, Sandy V. So it was a really, really cooler. Watch out now. Yeah. I subbed last night. Well, thank you, Sandy V. Whoops. I don't know if we go around. Oops. Go around in this case. Oops. It's hard to describe. Oh, hey. Oops. Oh. So I guess we're staging to get ready to leave. And I want to thank you for subbing last night. So again, because this channel was new. And then, well, I guess since there's just 2 of you, it took me 50 subs and I think 24 hours. 24 hours of wait. Obviously, I think 24 hours of when you actually make the channel. And then 50 subs, however long that takes. I mean, I think it's a 24-hour wait regardless. So aside from Sandy V, whoever else is on, I'd like to welcome you. Even if you're a troll, I mean, that's fine. Sometimes when I watch these troll channels, I make videos kind of incriminating this. You actually pay more attention than the regular people who just don't care. So I was the 44th, okay. Someone told me that actually, I think, what is that? I don't know whether or not Trump was the 44th president, not 45th, because it's Teddy Roosevelt. Because Teddy Roosevelt, I believe, was president twice in different times. Not back-to-back presidents like we're used to seeing. So 44th. So yeah. All right, so we're just, I guess, staging it before we leave.
Get out of everybody's way.
Yeah, so we're just going ahead. We're not leaving just yet. So I'll try to be entertaining to you, Sandy V, and I want to thank you for tuning in. I know that there's a lot of live feeds going on right now. You could be watching, and I do thank you for watching this one. I'll try to commentate as best as possible. I'm not one of those webcam that just leaves, that's just a dash cam that just leaves it on with no dialogue. Those ones just put me to sleep. Not a troll. All right, that's Gaga. Of course, Shanks, my hands are busy. All right, cool. So it was a lot cooler today than yesterday, because today was like, what, lower 70s. Well, now it feels lower 70s. Yesterday was 20 degrees warmer. It felt a lot warmer. It felt that it was 20 degrees warmer than today. So we are on a truck route. I guess that goes to show that we're on a truck route. Oops. So we're getting ready to head on out. This was just basically, it almost felt like a street fair, or I don't know how else to call it. There's another Western Express. No, Gaga, you're not a troll. Am I enjoying the live streaming? Well, this is basically my first day of doing it, so I was nervous. I don't think not so much. I didn't do any streaming during the event per se, simply because everyone else was. So I didn't want to just try being another. So I try doing these streams before, after. One of the things that really, I guess, that I liked about ours being a right side news broadcast or broadcasting network was that they did the interviews before, after. So they did the pregame, postgame. They did one after the rallies. They did one before, leading up to it. So that's what I'm trying to be in this case, is that this is a post wrap up. So in case Gaga and Sandy V of you're 5 people now, of what you missed out on, obviously there were speeches, and Santa gave a speech himself. It was a good speech. We did have different speakers. We had the elderly gentleman speaker, Mike, but he wasn't feeling well to drive tonight, so someone else is. And so I guess they were looking for drivers. I don't know if I could have driven, since I'm not insured with this vehicle. So that's kind of a liability, at least having the CDL. So he was an older gentleman telling a really, really good testimony. Answering the question, Sandy V, am I enjoying it so far? It feels different watching one than actually streaming one. So for any of you, I guess 5 of you who, I guess, if you don't have videos of your own or haven't streamed, it's 24-hour waiting period. And then you have to get 50 subs minimum. Afterward, well, depending on the kind of phone that you have. So you download Prism. I can't leave this app while streaming. So download Prism, then you download YouTube Studio. I think you need both. 24-hour waiting period. As soon as you hit 50 subs, you could go ahead and do what I did now. I think I have 60, something like that. I'm not looking to be a big channel. This is just to show a lot of what I guess maybe the other streamers have already stopped, or they're doing the dash cam. And they're not really commentating anymore or doing interviews. Yes, there was food there. It wasn't as hot as it was yesterday. And there was a raffle, there was the auction. Aside from that, it was what you would find as a typical street fair. It wasn't the Klan rally that the pharmaceutical cable news media would have you believe, because all of those are big pharma funded. Let's just face it, that's cable. Don't have cable. Not everyone watches cable, nor should you, because they're all corporate. That's all they are. They don't show you this. They won't hear. I mean, I guess you could try watching the local news, and then they'll edit it. Because I think I might have done. I did one on a local ABC, and I think they chopped and edited that interview. And then I did an interview with RT, which is like Kremlin TV. But that's fine. They've been censored in this country, but you could still watch them on Brave. At least I do, just to see what Russia's up to. Because if you just censor Russian TV, we really don't see of what they're thinking. So that is that. All right, looks like a subscriber, or a sub, or a viewer left. So we're at 4. That's okay. So the 4 of you that are actually in here, I want to thank you for tuning in. I know not much is going on right now because I guess we're waiting to leave. And this is just what, like 40-minute drive, 45-minute night traffic. Okay, that's driver Justin. So I don't know whether or not he has a channel of his own. Do you want to plug the channel, or?
Oh, I don't.
Okay.
I don't have a channel.
Yeah, I don't have much of a channel either. Here, I just did the 50 subs because I'm not looking. I mean, and here's the other thing: cut cable 2 years ago, very good. I watch RT on Rumble. Well, you could watch RT. Well, I watch mine from Brave. Brave, the mobile browser, on Rumble. Okay. Yeah, because ScrewTube, well, there's others too. There's Wion, W-I-O-N. There's, I don't know if AJ Plus if there's Al Jazeera, there's other foreign, not BBC or CBC. Those are just CNN in other countries, so those are meaningless. Oops. So I guess we're getting ready to leave. And in case you're wondering of what we're facing, that's actually State Route 522. This is downtown Berkeley Springs. It looks like a horse trailer. So I guess we're looking to go southbound and then northbound on I-81. So we have to go south to go up north. Yeah, so, oops. So one of the things though about, I guess, any of you five, all right, so we have our fifth back. I want to hear your thoughts on the rally. I've listened to streamers who have done it for a while. Yeah, so there are other streamers that have been around. I was on Polish Agnes's earlier, and I gave a thank you gift on WYSIWYG, and met up with Oreo. Oreo was the one who gave me the ride home yesterday, which was pretty cool. I don't know what is there anything going on when we get back, or is it just parking the net and just calling it a night?
Nobody really said, so yeah. I'd imagine that, people will just hang out.
Okay.
I don't know if we'll do a campfire or anything.
Yeah, that's cool. Because reason being is that I guess I could just walk it back to the truck stop unless you feel that it's unsafe. Then I could just get a ride from someone else to just get a ride back to Pilot. It's just across the highway. Yeah, I mean, I don't want you to cut it away from the Convoy back though. All right, so Left Freedom Ring. All right, so hi there, Left Freedom Ring. Thank you for got the hand wave. I'll wave the hand back. That's for you, Left Freedom Ring. I'll get to you, Gaga, in just a sec. On the day's events, I like this part. My thoughts on the rally. One of the things about hearing Santa speak is that, yeah, it is true, is that, here's my thoughts on it, is that the corporate media is going to try to portray this as a Klan rally. I mean, that's all that there is to it. There were colored people there. All right, there's one liberal person there, so it's all different thoughts and views on the rally itself. So this is a small town rally. Again, we're in small town America, and yeah, I did say it that way. And basically, was that obviously stuff like this doesn't run for free. That's why they had the raffle. No, I didn't live stream any of the rally. I was on Polish or Hot Lipstick Shots live stream, so I was on there and the different speeches. Now here's the thing: the very first speaker, very elderly gentleman, had not one but two or even multiple near-death experiences, but he's still up and doing what he's doing because he didn't let age get in the way of doing what he loved doing the most, and that was trucking. That's what this is about. Because from the speech I did yesterday, when fuel prices are $6 a gallon, well, then grocery prices are just going to quadruple by Christmas. That's just the reality of it all. I'm not saying that to be bitter, jaded. That's just the truth. This is just a response to Gaga on my thoughts. The other speaker gave the thoughts on, yes, there are research labs in Ukraine and in Taiwan. They've been going on, and of course the corporate media won't report that on to you because Burisma and the whole part about, well, we can't justify Russia's invasion, which I guess the invasion itself, wasn't good. 3 million refugees from Ukraine are now away from home, have fled, some gone to as far away as Poland. So the next speaker, I'm trying to think who the speaker was in the lineup. No, I mean, this isn't like Sunday morning church, but God does have a big part to do with this, and it's hard really not talking about these things without making it sound kind of religious or without some theology in it. So Santa's speech was really good. In fact, it might have been the best. But yeah, the middle speaker was the dude with the glasses. He was the dude with the MAGA charcoal gray shirt. So he was the one with the 5 kids, so he has a lot to live for. There's a lot of stakes going on with him. And he saw a lot of differences because when you hear the rhetoric of, well, we want our country back, well, we want to go back to 2019. That's what that means, not country back into the days of slavery. And by the way, there were black slaves. And a black person had to tell me this. There were, if you saw the movie even Roots, there were even blacks who rounded up other blacks who ended up being slaves themselves. So in this country, there actually were black slave owners. It wasn't just all white. So All right, that was just off a little bit of a soapbox there. But no, what I was getting at before about this being portrayed as some kind of Trump rally, Trump, whether or not he's even in it at all, again, he'll be 77 in next to, you know, the next presidential, season. So he'll basically be Brandon's age when he campaigned in 2020, in 2024. And the thoughts, oh, hey, how are you doing? Oh, I guess we got the 3-point turn here. I don't know if he's going to be leaving. And a lot of people living in Florida don't want to see DeSantis leave because they don't know whether or not Gillum might. Well, obviously, the gubernatorial race is going on, and DeSantis is going to win because Florida is becoming more red. It's a lot of, you know, aside from what happened in 2018, Georgia's blue and then Florida's red because it was hard to really notice that Stacey Abrams ever lost, despite the fact that the Secretary of State was actually running for governor. So how do you really... I said this when Kasich ran against Trump back in the 2016 Ohio primary. He's the governor of Ohio. He's going to win. So unfortunately, and it was actually one of Trump's worst losses. Well, there was Wisconsin, but I know I'm going off on a little bit of a soapbox here. But no, what I was saying before is that I don't know if a lot of Floridians want to see DeSantis leave. So what's that leave? Kristi Noem, not a lot of political firepower in her. And then Ted Cruz, I don't know, Lion Ted. So I hope that kind of, that was just a little bit of the audience members. Grandma Gaga, if that kind of answers the question a little bit. I know I went a little bit off on a tangent there, but, you know, not everyone gets a chance to come to rallies like this. I know not everyone lives by here or even has enough money to afford the fuel, even if you are by here. You live in the Midwest, you live in, you know, in the Northeast, or you live in Tennessee, somewhere that's not even close. That's why I mentioned in my speech yesterday about Big Kevin. Now, there are other rallies like this going on in the country. Whether or not they're like this, it's a stereotype or it's closed-minded to think that this is the only place where rallies are, is just following the 1776. It's not true. There's other things going on too. I think it's... I have to sub to his channel. I probably should. Capital J_N. He was the one who live streamed the Oklahoma rally. That was the Jackson Landmeyer rally, which is what their convoy joined up with. So if you're living and watching this, living in a state that still is in primary season, not us Texans. Ours ended in the March 1st, so we had an early. And I think, well, this state here in West Virginia already had theirs too. Oklahoma has theirs in August. Okay, I think that's Buffalo. I think that's Buffalo 11 right there. I subbed to his channel too, so, you know, showing support. But, you know, some streamers want to be left alone. That's fine. But what was I getting at here? Oh, yeah, you live in a state that actually is in primary season. Because a lot of incumbents or establishment politicians are empty suits, what they do in order to get into the pocket of movements like this, like the Green Movement, what they'll do is that they'll try to take over oil companies by getting on their executive board, and then they'll just try to infiltrate it from within. In this case of what we need, but there's been a lot of pushback because Brandon has been leading to $6 a gallon diesel gas, or fuel diesel rather. So at this point, a lot of these, I guess, challengers or people running up against establishment incumbents is that they're looking to latch onto movements. So if you're actually in a state that still has not their primary or primary coming up soon, it means that there's politicians still not only looking to stay in office, but looking to replace them too. So, whoops, all right, getting ready to head out. Well, let's see here. So, that's just one of the things, because I think Florida is almost the same month as Oklahoma. That's August. But here's the thing. If your primary is in August, you only have 8 weeks until the general, because you go September. Oh, no, wait, I'm sorry, 90 days. So, well, actually, that'd be right after Halloween. So that doesn't give a whole hell of a lot of time. Here's maybe 2.5 months. Or, yeah, basically, if you live in Florida, theirs is August. Oklahoma's August. All right, so there's the lead vehicle right there. It's not an actual, it's actually, you know, fire engine looking. Yep. There's a fire engine vehicle. but no hose. Okay. All right.
All right, we're ready.
That's not Soup Mama, but it is a mama. Yeah. All right. I know a lot of people mistake it by calling her Soup or nickname it just because Mama's in her name. So they accidentally get the tongue twist of Soup Mama. No, it is Mama, but not that Mama. All right, so we're down to 3. I hope I didn't chase the other 2 by going off on that rant. So eventually we will be riding here, and then I guess if, you know, we need the windows up. We need the windows up. Oops. So again, we're here in Berkeley Springs, just here in small town West Virginia. And God bless Mansion. If I'm not mistaken, I think the 4th congressional district, because a current congressman's actually running for Senate. Excuse me. To counterpart Mansion, because this isn't Mansion's electoral cycle is actually in 24, so it's not this year, it's the next cycle. You're welcome, Sandy B. So I think it's now the thing about Congressman Mooney is that he's the only one who actually wanted to propose an actual audit on the 2020 election, nobody else. So I guess you could say he's kind of like a Freedom Caucus type dude. So he's actually a congressman, the 4th congressional, I don't know where that is specifically, the 4th congressional district, this is Santa, running for U.S. Senate, if I'm not mistaken, because this state, West Virginia, already had their primary already said and done, and that is Santa's big rig. So I think that is 2nd. Okay. All right, so we have 3 people. Want to thank you 3 peeps for, all right, so it looks like we're ready to ride. Slowly, yet surely. All right. So if we gotta do windows up, Whoops. All right.
When we get on the highway.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So here we are going, and we're going to be going southbound on 522, just to give you folks an idea. I tried to type in as much in the description. Oh, there was one of me. All right. So we're just getting ready to turn. Again, this is just a bit of a side street. This is like the Civic Center. So we are actually okay. All right, so it looks like we do have a blocker. So we are leaving, I guess, downtown. So now we're heading southbound on 522. That was the Civic Center, so they did have the courthouse, and this is Berkeley Springs. I forget which county this is, but it is the county seat of the county. The capital of the county, that being the county seat. I forget the name. I didn't Wikipedia the name of the. Yes, that is an antenna in front of us. So sorry if that obstructs some of you folks. There we go, 522. All right, so we are heading back towards Bunker Hill, that being, all right, time now 9:42 p.m. or 21:42 Eastern Standard Time, again going 522 State Route South. So this is a truck route that we are going in. That's one of the reasons why I guess Santa's bobtail is able to go on here. And I guess that's why we didn't cut across the pilot there. So, whatevs. All right. Okay. All right, so we're back up to 5. We're fluctuating between 3 and 5, and the speed limit, because it is a small town, it's going to be a small town speed limit. So, well, for one thing, I don't think many places are going to be open anymore. And 2, I don't know whether or not I noticed this, Justin, is that I don't think there's too many gas stations. There's power in the. You're better off just keeping the $10. Yeah. And I guess whether or not for you guys listening to us or tuning into us right now, if you're religious, I guess gambling is a sin in that case, and it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. Keep the $10. Don't play the power of the mega. All right. So we are heading back. It is small town Murica. The one thing that you will notice between this convoy in this country and the one in Canada, or Canada, as they call it, because is that the Ottawa stuff was all urban warfare. They squatted in the city. So I don't know how exactly they went to the bathroom inside the Porto Johns, but that was in the dead of winter. Instead of Arab Spring, that was a Canadian winter. That's what that was. Whoops. So we're approaching Dollar General. The only thing I dislike about Dollar General, I think they canceled MyPillow. if I'm not mistaken, just like Wally World did. I don't know why. It's a pillow. And I thought Mike Lindell's Frank Speech TV, the symposium, was going to get as much traction as 2,000 Mules, and it didn't. It barely did, and it should have, because Lindell knew that it was a Dominion voting machines. I think Dominion even sued him, which goes to show that Lindell had something on him, because why sue him then? They could have just said, well, you're full of it, you're full of hot air. And so that nothing really came of the symposium. The 2,000 Mules, and I'll admit I've yet to see. I guess I should watch it. And I think that is on InfoWarsStore.com. So I guess I could order it from there.
Yeah, the DVD.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
You can watch it on BitChute.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'll watch on BitChute or DTube. I don't know. Is BitChute an app, or is that you have to go to a browser?
It's a website.
Okay. So it's a site. They don't have an app for it yet. Yeah. Okay. DTube, BitChute. Yep. Looks like this road might be under construction. Oops. All right. So almost approaching half an hour. I remember when Mickey D's closed, I had to walk I had to do the drive-thru because they had to close off back in 2020. So I actually had to physically walk the drive-thru. It was so stupid. When Kung Flu hit, Mickey D's got rid of their salad. They got rid of their artisan chicken. They got rid of they got rid of their salad. They got rid of a lot of their shit. They got rid of the tenders. So it just became a place with no variety anymore. So that's why Taco Hell. Yeah, I know you're thinking, wow, is that any better? Well, it's Taco Hell. You could diversify the menu. All right, so we're approaching half an hour here, and I want to thank you folks for tuning in. And I don't know whether or not you folks want to say of where you're tuning in from, but that's okay. If you want to just not mention of where you're tuning in from, that's fine. That's cool. I always like to ask because make it interesting, just to make it interesting of interacting with the audience. I don't care. There could be two of you, and I'd still be talking this way. So that's actually the price of that's regular gas. So that's $4.85. Yeah, cool. $4.85. That ain't cheap. That is not cheap. Good Lord. So this is about a 40-minute drive, but I think we've cut 5 minutes into it already because we're at slow speed. So, I'd like to take you into the evening. I know there's a lot of things. Whoops. Need to step away. Okay. Just streamers back in Ottawa. Sandy V. Yeah, I don't know whose channel. I remember there used to be like a Fry TV type channel with the Canadian streamers, but when they had their from Kami Cali. Ooh. Last time I was in Cali was San Bernardino. That's the inland. That's the I don't know if that's a San Joaquin. That's not the San Joaquin. San Joaquin is Vacaville. That's like south of Sacramento. I think it was the Inland Empire, but it was south. So that was San Bernardino, where they have more warehouse space than they do people. So it's like, okay. Started watching live streamers back in Ottawa. All right, so I don't know if the Ottawa streamers are still on because they had their Jan 6 moment back in February. When they launched the San Bernardino, I'm in Hesperia. I have no idea where that is. Sorry, my Cali geography is illiterate, so Hesperia. I can't cut away to Gulag maps. I'm not going to look at my Gulag maps to see specifically of where Hesperia is. It's San Bernardino County. Oh, okay. Cool. So, I think I remember going to an In-N-Out there. In-N-Out is religious. And I'm surprised they haven't chased them out yet because High Desert. Okay. That, you might be tuning in to us from, or listening from Death Valley. Is it Palm Springs? I don't know, somewhere halfway between LA and Arizona. I know my geography is so illiterate. But California is a beautiful place if it weren't so damn expensive. I forget how much diesel was out there, but I remember once I did the chicken coop. which is the way station. That took half an hour. I said, oh my God, and even the roads out there are really bad because they have all that traffic. So I know out in Cali they had the American Summit. I don't know if anything came of it. I doubt it. Mexico was a no-show because, well, they would have preferred Trump. And I don't think Mexico appreciates all of the caravans that have been coming through because they've been doing as much as they could and they've just been settling. And I haven't been a fan of Abbott's busing them in, because if you bus them in, you're already letting them into the country. Be like, no. What should happen is that there should be a Gaza Strip along the Rio Grande. Is that they should just have the Rio Grande Valley as just a squatting area. I mean, I guess maybe landmines is just too inhumane. I'll be back. Be safe driving. All right. Thanks, Sandy B. It is actually driver Justin who's doing the driving. But okay, so we still have Grandma Gaga. So again, that was Sandy B. So all right, so there's 5 of you in the stream. Again, we're just heading back. We're going southbound on State Route 522, and we'd like to thank you folks for tuning in. You know, I know it's not much to really Indiana. Gas over here is 5 a gallon. So Gaga, or not Lady Gaga, Grandma Gaga. There is there's one silver coin stacking channel. His name is T the Stacker, but he's up in, I think, near Valparaiso, but he's by Chirac, which makes it bad news because he crosses over into Illinois and then he goes to the coin shops. I said, nah, I ain't down with that. I'm not down with that shithole city. So Indiana, yeah, I guess we can do windows up. Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah, no worries, man.
So Indiana, I was in Indianapolis actually a few days back. Well, what is it now? Saturday? Earlier this week. I was in Indiana, because I just wanted to go from St. Louis, Indiana. I just wanted to drive through Illinois. So I did 70 straight. All right, so Gaga, you're in Indiana. Evansville is actually one of the poorest towns in America, and it's really surprising. That's down by the Ohio and Mississippi River Valley. It's a really poor area. I'm surprised no one really has done anything about it. Guys, these. Oh, excuse me. Pardon me. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. So Indiana. So I did drive through Indianapolis, and there's not a whole. And I think the Convoy did too. They stopped by the pilot there. If I'm not mistaken, they stopped by the pilot. There's only a couple of pilots that's on the 465. They're working on the 7065 through downtown, like by Lucas Oil Field, where the Big Ten football game takes place for the conference championship game. So, I almost went to Mishawaka. So I'm talking to Gaga. I almost took a delivery to Mishawaka, but I figured there's not a whole hell of a lot up there. Mishawaka. So I did drive. Where did I stop? No, I did the rest area. I stopped at the rest area in Indiana because there is a pilot there on the Illinois border. Okay, well, if you've been there, you know that the roads suck. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know if who's the governor. Is it Holcomb or Holcomb, something like that? It's the dude after Pence. I know there's a lot of room for improvement. I wish they could do more. 65 or 65, they've always been working on 65. And here's the thing. It's actually supposed to be the NAFTA or the USMCA highway that basically takes you all the way from Michigan and Canadian border all the way to Mexico. Now, they're trying to link up state highways like this. It's never panned out. But to give you an idea, 69 goes through Houston. It goes through, well, obviously it goes through Indianapolis. It goes through, let's see if I'm geographically right. It goes through Mexico, Houston, and then it goes north upward through Shreveport. And then through Shreveport, it takes you, oh my God, where is it? Where the hell does that take you? Shreveport, no, that's already Fort Smith. That's I-49. I'd have to look at a map. But I-69 basically links Canada and Mexico, or at least it was in the project. It was in the project too. Now, Gaga, I wanted to tell you one thing is that there's this one P-lot. It's on the Illinois border. Well, when you cross, before going into Illinois, this is westbound. It is when you cross over into Indiana from Illinois, it's that first pilot. It's that one, I think it's that one pilot. I think it's got to be that one pilot. There wasn't, and it's the one by the Walmart. I think it's down the road from the Wally World. There's not a whole hell of a lot of parking. There's nothing to eat there. That's one of the reasons why I think truckers are kind of look the way that they do, is because the limit. I mean, the General Mills, the crafts. I mean, all of the food, like all of the junk food companies, have control of the shelves, unfortunately. And that's why I pointed out on the drive here this morning is that I wish that there were more local produce stands, which is far and few in between. I know it's tough, especially in Indiana, where is that? The weather gets cold. Now, Gaga, I want to tell you also is that the last time I think that I was actually on YouTube on a live feed was some dude named Trucking Answers. He lives in West Lafayette, which is where Purdue University is. He does these live streams. I think it's from like noon. I don't know. It's like 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, but it's like noon Central. And he does these Q&As of where he goes to. He does his Q&A. It's really boring. But him and I actually met up Christmas of 2018. So we did a live stream. So you'd have to really dig back in his archives to see that live stream. But it was Christmas of 18. And that was the last time I actually ever was. I actually showed my face on ScrewTube. So we're going on 3.5 years. I know it's a long ass time, huh? So that is Indiana. Indiana has a lot of Illinoisans flocking in, Missouri too, which is problematic. A lot of them leave Illinois and said, boy, this doesn't feel like home. Let's bring a piece of home with us. So what they do is that they import all that garbage they're trying to escape. It's terrible. So, but luckily, one thing I do like about Indiana, it's been the only, like Iowa, it's really them and Iowa have been the only reliably red states in that part of the country in the Midwest / Great Lakes. Because I guess you could consider Iowa and Kentucky, well, part of the Midwest, I guess. But they're not part of the Great Lakes. So, or Missouri. You take states like here in West Virginia, Kentucky, Missouri, Iowa, well, they're not part of any body of water. Well, I guess Iowa's part of the Mississippi River Valley, and Kentucky's part of the Ohio River Valley, so and part of Appalachia. So they're kind of in between two different parts of the country. Because Iowa, you are already in the Great Plains because you're west of the Mississippi River. Kentucky feels a bit Appalachian, kind of like out here. So, yeah, yes, we are. All right. So, I had no idea that Sturgis is still part of Indiana. That's the part that's by Michigan. So, Michigan, I got a text. I remember when I was in Michigan back in 2020, everyone got a text about there being a curfew because those are the governor's orders. So, not only were there masks, they didn't have the vaccine out yet in 2020. But what they did was that they instituted curfews. So now everyone was on lockdown. So now there was a limit to how many people big boxes could have. You remember that bullshit, Gaga? I remember that. There used to be lines outside of Home Depot and Walmart, and I'd get pissed. And we'd all have masks waiting outside. It was like a nightclub. I said, look at that, $4.85 for fuel out here. And that's just out here. And that was such bullshit. And so a lot of people from southern, like, where would it be in Michigan? I don't know. You had to be in Michigan. It was like I-69. All right, so that was 69, because 69 already takes you through the toilet. That's what I call it. No, wait a second. No, that's Toledo, because Indiana already takes you almost to Traverse City. I'm getting my geography mixed up. I'm sorry. That's like Benton Harbor. But there's no actual major interstates that take you to Traverse City. It's a beautiful place. I'm already talking about Michigan. Traverse City was the last time before Toys R Us closed. It was around late June. It was almost around this time back in 2018. They closed down Toys R Us's. So I was able to see, I was mandated to work through the lockdown. Yeah, 24 years, beginning of this year. Oh, I'm sorry, Gaga. I hope, depending upon your industry, there's another Dollar General there. 24 years at the beginning of this year. Oh my God, that's like 2.5 decades. I'm sorry, Gaga. I hope that you've landed back at your feet. I hope I was mandated to work. I hope you didn't lose your job because of the vaccine mandate. That would suck if that were the case. Boy, that would suck. It feels like this chat is just me and you, Grandma Gaga. That sucks. I hope you found, the beginning of this year has already been half a year, so it's been half a year already. I hope you got back. I hope you've gotten back on your feet. One of the things that's really hard about this industry, being in trucking, is finding places to work. Here's why. I was in Florida, or basically almost down by Naples, delivering to a shopping mall. Okay, you remember shopping malls when people used to actually go out? Website that's named after a river. I'm not going to mention their name. And it's terrible because of all these smash and grabs that have now discouraged all these stores to want to stay open. And sold on Scamazon is, in fact, not stolen. So there was there to work, and he was all sweaty. He goes, I'm the only one working. They're only paying me the same amount that they are everybody else who's working here, like $12 an hour. I said, what a thankless job. That's almost like what we're doing in trucking. It does feel thankless, but I am thankful in the way that I have a livelihood. It's a profession. It's a sense of self-worth. So I hope, Gaga, you've landed back on your feet, and that there are being somewhere for the same place for 24. That's almost 25 years. That's a quarter century right there. That I'm sorry that you've been around for so long for them to have just let you go like that. I'm real sorry to hear that. I don't know. Maybe one of these days. I don't know how. Okay, I guess. All right, she's the only person that's on now. So. I guess everybody else left. So, all right, nope, not working yet. Was not lost due to downsize. Oh, okay. I know what that's like. I used to work in corporate America myself. Layoffs were each and every year. Sorry that has happened to you. One of the things that I've at least have done is at least try to start my own business. In this case, I know it's easier said than done. I've done the reselling thing. I do stuff on eBay, not Scamazon. I know it sounds exploitive, but one of the things that I've at least tried to do or see about doing, you look at some of these stores that are closing and you buy stuff and then you resell it online. At least that's not a smash and grab. But I know that sounds like that's kind of like predatory reselling, because you're just buying liquidated goods and you're reselling it on markup. I have done it on eBay. There are stuff that I do from Infowars.com, and then I'll just resell it online. And of course, I'll just buy more stuff on Infowars. But one of the things, at least, if anything else, getting into your own business, doing your own thing, marketing yourself. That's one of the things that school doesn't really teach you, is how to be a 1099. I don't even think school teaches you all that much to do a 1040, unfortunately. I wish they would, but I don't think really school or college teaches you how to do a tax return. I'll be like, oh man, that's so freaking pitiful unless you're getting into accounting. I'm not saying that everyone is suitable to do their own taxes. At least I can't anymore because I'm an LLC. But still, at least when you get started with the 1040EZ, you at least are literate to know about, at least the $1,400 that was given to me by this dictatorship. That's not enough. I need at least like 10 of them to get something going, at least to be led into a strip club. No, I'm kidding. Oh, that sounded so inappropriate. I hope you do get back on your feet. Obviously, I'll be praying for you, Grandma. I don't know how you feel about meeting. I mean, obviously I met someone I subscribed to today, that being Agnes. I mean, I don't want to sound creepy or nothing. I mean, I think TikTok is pretty creepy. Or Tinder. All right, so we got back to 2 subs, but about meeting, here we are back to the Commonwealth of Virginia. All right. I always knew that Virginia was a red state. They did have a couple of blue. They were blue for a while. Because they had that one vice president candidate. And that debate that he did with Pence was that was so, sounded like the dude was over caffeinated. What's that, Tim Kaine? Boy, that guy was a joke. And then I think it was McCullough or something like that. I forget. Factory work. I'm not old enough to retire yet, but my body is broke down from working on concrete 12. Oh, I am good. My husband is a truck driver as well. Well, thank you to your husband for being a part of the brethren. As far as factory work there, Gaga, I don't know if there possibly could be a desk job or something else besides, I guess, if it's too laborious. Again, don't take something that's, because one of the reasons why I'm not a Scamazon fan is their business practice of how they treat the work. It's a sweatshop factory. It just is. Just like Target. I mean, you look at the way of how run down those workers are. I mean, it's just basically slave wage labor. That's all it is. I'm not a fan of it because, I mean, if you're not for slave wage as far as like your clothes being made at a sweatshop, but you buy off Scamazon, I said, well, how's that any different? So, I do hope and I do pray that, Gaga, that you do get back on your feet. Maybe one of these days, if you're up for it, meet you at a truck stop. You know, it's not, I guess I am open-minded to meeting people. I mean, I've only gotten one death threat. I mean, that was just once, but that was, if you're familiar with the mobile application trucking app, their forum app I actually helped start. You're welcome. That was actually the last time I did social media, was actually March of 2019. I'm not on social media. That stuff's CIA surveillance. I'm here on YouTube to bring all of this coverage and this footage to you. Yes, I do show my face. I did do a speech yesterday. But this, of course, is just for all 60 of you guys. And so for any of you folks who have, you know, who I guess are watching this on a replay, you know, I do thank you again. This is just a wrap up, just to do a little bit of a reset. We're heading actually back to the campus, or my voice is cracked, to home base from the rally, from Berkeley Springs. So it's not too far, you know, just a 40-minute drive, what have you. So we're just going southbound on 522. So I'll be praying for you, Gaga. Gaga, if you're by any truck stops, you know, wherever it is you are, you don't have to tell me specifically in Indiana if you're not comfortable. Who would tell me of relatively where you are in Indiana, you know, if there are truck stops. Although on 90 and 80 there are only service plazas. So I mean, they're really, I mean, I've seen you before on someone's stream. That was yesterday. I did my speech yesterday, and then today I was on Polish Agnes's. So I did show my face, you know, yeah. But no, I don't give out my real name. Don't give out my government name. That's okay. So it's just U-Haul uncovering, helping America unpack. Wait, how does it go again? Unpacking, helping America uncover life. Helping uncover life. Something like that. I have to reevaluate the acronym. Sorry, I got that totally effed up, but. You know, I like the moving company. You know, I'm a big fan of the color orange. Orange man bad. So I have no problem actually meeting any of you, I guess, in person. Very seldomly do I, I actually did meet the person who helped me move to Texas. Yes, I'm an escapee from a blue state. And I actually just barely ran in. It's the same. The disgraced senator that the Attorney General's wife is now, Angela Paxton. That is, for you Texas folks out there, no, you're on a you were on like a, let me see here, Gaga. You were like on a stream of different people talking. So not the fastest growing or the largest fastest growing county in Texas. Travis County is already emptied out. All the Californians have moved there. Include, well, no, Elon Musk is further south. But no, Tesla is out there in Travis County. There's the Woodlands, which is north of Houston. There's New Braunfels, that's north of San Antonio. There is, obviously, University of North Texas. That place is god-awful. My God, is that... For those of you watching this, familiar with UNT, Denton, like ghetto. Those are the places that protested the police brutality 2 years ago. Nothing against the protests against. I think they also protested the LGBT. So yeah, that is, I believe, that is IH 35 and 114, something around there. I think that is by DFW, or not too far off. I believe that is west of DFW. It's not Love's. Love's is actually that I sent back to them, and they didn't want to have to write me back. So they sent me some bullshit email because they didn't want to have to write me back. So we have 4. All right. Can't. Texas policy. Actually, the representative had extramarital affairs. Forget who it was. Who's the funny part about that he actually does not. He actually lives barely. Collin County is about halfway between downtown Dallas and the Red River. What's the Red River? That's already the Oklahoma border. That's basically the Red River. The Red River divides basically the state border itself. Or that's basically what it is. Collin County is basically not for everyone. It's basically for those of you looking to raise a family. I guess if you're in your 20s and 30s, yes, you'd want the more hustle and bustle city life, so you'd have to live in Dallas County. Fort Worth, I'm not so sure. That's old money. I guess you could try living in Arlington. Dab in between. I know this is all Texas talk, so it might not pertain to you, but for those of you who haven't visited or even know much about Texas at all, it's a really big state. And so the DFW, or the Metroplex, is a really big area. One side of Dallas to Fort Worth is basically already 50 miles. So that's basically, with traffic, that's basically an hour's worth of a drive. I'm not a whole lot familiar with Fort Worth. I don't know. I think red, or at least hopefully should be red. I know that's where old money is. The guy running for Attorney General, George P. Bush, I think that is Jeb's son, if I'm not mistaken. I think that is Jeb, as in low energy Jeb's son, running for the incumbent Paxton's seat right now. So again, that's just for Texas talk. If I bored you with that, I know sometimes it's hard to really talk without sounding local. I mean, that's why I named this channel Local Live. Because one of the things I guess you could really get to know someone's political intelligence, because I guess you could call that to be, is ask them who their congressional rep is And however way they answer that is how well you know they know their politics. Every state has 2 U.S. senators. That's easy. But knowing, because most of the time, well, depending on the size of your state, your congressional representative represents your New Hampshire, Maine, where it's heavily rural. Couple of congressional representatives at all. So it almost feels as though you have as many congressional, like New Hampshire, you have as many meaning. So for those of you tuning in, we're coming in on an hour. We're going southbound we've entered the state of the Commonwealth, I guess you call it that, of Virginia. So we're going south on State Route 522. So we are en route on the way to Interstate 81. It's got to be one of the most heavily trafficked interstates. It has to be. So I hope they really don't wind up tolling it. I really hope they don't. So yeah. But going back to, I guess, Indiana is really one of the more reliably red states in the Great Lakes region. Michigan's pretty much a dead zone. Wisco's purple. Minnesota you could forget about, because I don't know if the last time they ever voted for a Republican president was actually Nixon. Yeah, that is what, we're going back 8 presidents ago now. So that is one long ass time, because I think it's only been like only 2, well, I guess that would make it 3. So I guess I'd have to do my math. I guess maybe since World War II, there's only been 3 presidents who have been one-termers. I know that well, I don't know, would you call JFK a one-termer? But I guess RFK would make a nice presidential candidate. It all depends. But so we're coming up on an hour live streaming. Reason being is that we did a little bit of staging, so which is fine. Still, I'm just gonna in this. Virginia is a very vast state. It's 95. Very different. Where I'm going to in Norfolk is heavily naval. So mostly if you go into a military area, they're going to be Republican friendly. Whoops. Let's see. Oh, my hand was covering that. My bad. Sorry about that. And so, I don't know whether or not anything east of I-81 is already blue. I guess there on 64, because I think, to be honest with you, I-64, I-40 at the gas tax. I know that out there in California, they basically killed anything. I said, forget it. California doesn't want to do anything for anyone. I said, that state is so dead. I said that, I mean, basically anything to help out truckers is dead on arrival. I said, oh my God. I said, California wants you dead. They want you on the side of a highway shaking a cup on an exit ramp. I said, oh my God, is that bad? So I want to thank you folks for tuning in, even if you're watching this on the replay. I want to thank you. But you could check that one off. See you folks. So convoys going on, because I know after the arrests were made, it scared everyone off, and Zot already has fled, or ZNN. In her case, I don't know if she just wants to move out and stay out, I don't blame her. Maybe even to be a dual citizenship, or just leave Canada. Just leave in the rearview mirror and never come back. There's nothing to go back to. They don't have a leadership. It's a dictator, and I don't know what it's going to take to actually replace the prime minister that threw an ad hoc election last year and won on 30%. So I don't know really what it's going to take. I don't know what countries are there really as far as a safe haven. And if I'm not mistaken, goes to show that with you, Goldie, just sitting as you people. It'd be cool to meet you someday, and it's doubtful, as to whether or not I'll get, any of us will get the chance or even want to. That's fine. All right, so we're coming across an hour, and again, even if you're watching this who are trolls, want to thank you still. I guess you still count as an audience. Yeah, I don't know what else much there is in this channel. Interview subscribers and then just highlighting any of the rally. I mean, of them, so I just thought CB radio. Yeah. Coming in. All right. Buffering much. The reason I'm buffering, Gaga, is I guess heavily rural area. The last time I was ever rural like this, I think might have been Nebraska, Kansas, because basically it's all agriculture out there. And talking about Ukraine making grain, I said there's enough grain made in the Dakotas, North, South Dakotas, about grain. I know you got to feed the cows something. Cows eat cabbage and hay and just lick salt and drink water. You don't need to feed them grain, corn, or soy, because they don't eat that kind of stuff. Yeah, so you don't need to necessarily feed cows grain. I don't know whether or not you feed pork grain, but technically you could get away with feeding cows cabbage. Yeah, because I guess for those of you with gluten allergy like me, or with celiac, it's hard to eat meat or red meat if you can't confirm the grass finished, not fed, beef cattle. Doing a great job. Well, thank you there, Gaga. I appreciate that. So I know even for those of you who subscribe to this channel who are just basically going to send this live feed to, because I know that there's already YouTube channels out there who just make hit piece videos. I said, which goes to show they have nothing better else to do, but still, I mean, still giving me the attention, whether or not I'm even worth being put on your radar at all. But thank you though for that, Gaga. Maybe one of these days I'll come back to Indiana. Well, as I said, I was in Indianapolis. I'm trying to think. There's I-65. I don't want to go back up north to Gary. There's not a whole hell of a lot going on up there. It's kind of ghetto. It's real because a lot of people work in Chirac, but they take the Borland. It's kind of like the Metra for them out there, what it is to the suburbanites, excuse me, in Illinois. So they have like the commuter rail for the suitcase, for the commuter, that's called the Metra, or the MTA, I guess, for those of you in New York. Oops, I guess we could. Yeah, oops, yeah. Oh, thanks, man.
Yep.
So they have something called like the Borland commuter. I know it goes like into, not Union Station, but it goes into the underground. So it's for the Northwest Indiana commuters there into who work in the loop, I guess. So I don't want to do a whole hell of a lot of Northwest Indiana. I don't want to be close to the state next to it. So I don't know if there's much going on in I-69. There's not a lot of action going on, I think, unless you are in between Indianapolis and Columbus. So I guess in between the state capitals. Route 20 in order to go to Fort Wayne, that was a mistake. If you're going from Gary to Fort Wayne, you just do the tollway, the turnpike, 69 south. 69 south to Fort Wayne. I guess Fort Wayne is where the freight's at. About Fort Wayne, yeah. I guess I'll be back in Indiana sometime. I think that Pence was a traitor. You know, it's sad to say. I don't think that the mayor of Notre Dame, as I like to call it, because that's what he was a mayor of, is much of a transportation secretary. I don't even know how he got the job. He has no experience in that at all. He barely even wants to show up for work. What a waste of a job. So we have to take it upon ourselves just to take care of business locally. Whoops. Oh, there goes the flag up there. It's okay. That's all right.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, there goes the flag up there. Oof. So I guess we're approaching I-81 real soon. So I don't know if as soon as we hit the E-way or the expressway away, that marks the last leg of the trip. That's okay. That's okay. Okay, great job. But thank you for that, yeah, for that, Gaga. So it looks like we're getting ready to at least hit up on 81, so okay. Yeah. So always great to have one of the convoy drivers like this with driver Justin. Want to give him credit, and can't thank him enough. Can't thank him enough for
my pleasure, man.
Yeah.
It's good having you.
Doing all this. Man. Driving all this. Man. So we're almost there. Yeah. Like going to DC on the 4th. I tell you that I have my doubts. I wish I could. I might just catch it on the live stream. Just answering your question to Gaga. I wish I could. I wish I could. Yeah, the whole Jan 6 thing, it's still just it puts me on high alert. It does put me on edge, thinking that it's just going to be all militarized and all just going to be converted to the way that it was for Inauguration Day last year. So heavily fenced, heavily militarized, which is really scary. I shouldn't say scary, but just the whole part about being a political prisoner. Or one of the things, I don't know whether or not about this, is just, in this case, to go to a state capital on the 4th. I don't know whether or not that is a possible brainstorm idea. It's just, for those of you watching this, is that maybe think about going to your state capital on the 4th and seeing what happens there. Okay. Oh, excuse me. But I have my doubts, though. So I don't know. I'm not really sure. I doubt it. For that reason, I'll tune in to the live streams who are going to be on there and show my full support. And I wish I could. One of the things that I could do in the time being is that see about going to a state capital or even a county capital, and then just trying to make a move locally through there. Then seeing what I could do. I guess for those of you watching this who who aren't going to be making it either, is to see about that. If you do, as I said, just your state capital. I don't know, I guess mine would be Austin, or even a county capital, and then just taking it from there, and then just taking it on locally. Just think about what happened with this coincides with the governor. And that's what actually certified the elections in 2020. That was the problem. I don't think it was so much the problem of the governor, it was the state secretaries. there underlies that problem. For the 4th, I have to look into the plans to see what's going on. Whoops. I guess we get up the windows. Okay, we get up the windows. Speed limit 40. Oh, this felt like we were on 40 or 81. I guess I'm fooled.
No, we're on 81.
Oh, okay. Wonder why the speed limit says 40.
That's a good question.
Yeah, that was weird. Back there it said speed limit of 60. 40 is 81. Is speed limit 40 for an interstate. That is interesting. Huh. Okay. Huh. Interesting. Yeah. I didn't do it. Yeah. Uncle Deuce. Hey, how you doing there, Uncle Deuce? I think you're the only one accommodating this. Oh no, I-81, no, this was still local. So we're getting ready to hop onto someone called this, the E-way, or the interstate. What's up, bro? Hey, what's going on, Uncle Deuce? So you spell like me, because I purposely misspell to bypass the censorship. Uncle Deuce want to introduce Grandma Gaga. So Grandma Gaga, there's Uncle Deuce. And I think, well, there's another guest too, but that's okay if they don't want to introduce themselves. They could be trolls. So I want to thank Uncle Deuce for tuning in. I know it's late tonight, just checking the time. Yeah, so it's already 22:30. I go off military time. So 2200, anything past noon, just tag on 12, okay? So 22, a little past, 5 minutes past half the hour of 2200. And I was just talking to a little bit about Gaga. Now I know whether or not, she wants me to share about, thoughts and prayers, or at least I hope that she does get back on her feet as far as a livelihood of not seeing work, or at least haven't since, I don't know, the start of the year, or whether or not she wants me to talk about it. But if not, then I won't. Wait, is that can't be snuck in parking for that truck, or at least he's delivering for tomorrow? That could be snuck. That could be snuck parking for the truck. What do you think? It's like a trucker who snuck in. Oh, sorry, you can't see it. I'm just showing the viewers there, Uncle Deuce. See you in many streams. Oh, okay. Well, didn't realize that Uncle Deuce was a streamer too. Huh. So I'm just showing you guys. I don't know if this trucker actually snuck in. He has his lights to identify that he's making the delivery. Oh no, that's a secret spot. That is a hidden spot. Wow, that trucker was able to find a hidden spot here on, I don't even know what exit this is. But for those of you, I guess, in the Mid-Atlantic region, if you don't Wawa, I guess as it were, there's Ritter's, which is hidden, and then there's Sheets, excuse my French, with a Z, so they spelled like me. So one of the features about that is that they introduced kind of the auto checkout, or the self-checkout, but they also have it so where you custom make your lunch. Or I guess you could do soup, salad, sandwiches. I myself don't do gluten, or at least I've followed the way of Dr. Berg, B-E-R-G. And I actually have not eaten bread at all. Well, okay, I had to break it this weekend, but I've actually just gotten away from bread. Not that I don't eat sandwiches, but I try to not do it on purpose. So, gluten. Until this weekend, that's okay. And that's the place there, Sheets. So I think, no, it was Wawa. It was Wawa there in Punta Gorda. Yeah, I'll just put the video back here. So we're just getting ready. Okay, not a streamer. Okay. Friend that earned stripes over Ottawa. P.S. I live in Texas. Okay. Do you want to say where, Uncle Deuce, in Texas? Because Texas is a big state if you want to identify. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Got a supporter. Just a friend that earned stripes over Ottawa. Okay. Where in Texas? No. Yeah. Dr. Berg. I've been a subscriber since I've at least gone keto back in during the lockdowns, back during Kung Flu. Dr. Berg. He's actually out here in Maryland, but I think he's closer towards DC, supposedly. I think he's somewhere I-70 east, so he's close to the swamp. Where Uncle Deuce in Texas, if you want to make mention of where in Texas, of in South Fort Worth. So if I'm not mistaken, are you by you're by Abbott's old hometown? That is shit, where the hell is that? That's 67. That's IH-35 west. I'm trying to guess where South Fort Worth is. That is oh, where the hell is that? That's Greg Abbott's hometown. There's an actual place called Abbott though. South on, is it I-45 or 35? There's a place called Abbott, Texas. And believe it or not, they have a truck stop there that actually has Tesla charging stations. Oops. Yeah, I know, it's hard to out this with no lights. South Fort Worth is, how the hell do I not know this? It's 67. It's 60. It's there on in State Route 67. I think that's South Fort Worth. Shoot, that sounds familiar with it. But if I'm off base there, Uncle Deuce, there's also the tollway. I think that's Tollway 360. I take that way to the Walmart warehouse. That is there by Cleburne. Now, how you get there is that you take the tollway there, 360, if I'm not mistaken. That is, it's hot. Yeah, it's all of that. It's hot. Yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah, it's hot there, Uncle Deuce. The part that really sucks, though, is that there's not too many truck stops. They got the Loves there on IH-35, but that place is a dump. They got the QT, but no. The QT there is also a dump. You know which one I'm talking about? It's a QT there. That's right there by the Home Cheapo. It's IH-35. That place is a dump. There's hardly any truck parking there at all. I know your route. Okay. So I'm trying to guess the... I'm drawing a blank there. It's on I-20 and 67. Yeah. It is a dump. Yeah, it is. There is the Loves there. And that place is such a trash hole. I don't know why the Loves in their own... That's where Loves is headquartered in Oklahoma City. All Loves there are all trash. I mean, they're all gas stations with truck parking or truck parking spaces, and I-35 is no exception. I'm drawing. Oh, why am I drawing a blank? That totally sucks. It's where Greg Abbott was born. It's there on 67. It's there where like the is it the Whataburger and Walmart is? It's there on 67. Yeah, it's there on 67. That's all I remember. That's all I recollect. And I'm totally drawing a blank on what. Yeah, Fort Worth. Not a whole hell of a lot of truck stops there in Fort Worth, which really sucks. There for checks. Yeah, it is. That is true. QT, not a whole hell of a lot going on at QT. I go over to the soda fountain, get ice, and then I dump the coffee in it. There's not a whole hell. There are more places with that, but I guess it kind of sucks. Actually, it does kind of suck. And get that. Going back to exit 323, which is almost the West Virginia border. I mean, it basically is. Yeah. Shoot. Yeah, so I want to thank you, though, Uncle Deuce, for tuning in. And yeah, I know I'm totally running out of things to talk about. I'm trying to make it interesting. But yeah, so that's a story on Fort Worth there, because believe it or not, I was at a truck stop west of Fort Worth, which, if I'm not mistaken, is already Weathersford. That is already where 20 and 30 intersect. So believe it or not, there are not truck stops again in Fort Worth until you go further west of the 30-20 what is that, merger. because I know over by 10 and 20 is almost already you're on your way to El Paso. That way is already to the oil basin. So, because I was there maybe a few weeks ago, I was in Weatherford, and I had to drive back to Dallas. It's a long story. But I wish Fort Worth had truck stops. There's hardly any truck stops north by Denton, which kind of blows. There are some on I-20, but none on I-30. On about I-30. Ooh-wee. So I'm totally, I have no clue as to why I'm drawing a blank as to where State Route 67 and 20 are, but whatevs. Jeez. Man, oh man. But I want to thank you, Uncle Deuce, for tuning in. Did you know it's Santa's favorite shape is... Oh, that's funny. That's funny. I had no idea about that. I met him for the first time yesterday, which was really cool. And he's such a nice fellow. I have no idea what the old leadership was like, but this is the new leadership. So, you know, it kind of sucks the fact that I really never got a chance to see the old Convoy, but I guess this is like, this is to be mended with a lot of people who felt ripped off Favor Flavor. Because trust is easy to lose compared to gaining it back in the long run. So a lot of people who donated money feel ripped off. They feel, you know, kind of disillusioned, and so to kind of gain the trust back, it's just, man, it's just like, yeah. I don't know if there's nothing else going on that you could just drop me off at the pilot. I hope that's yeah. Cookies, cakes, LOL. So I don't know whether or not at this point, I guess as soon as we exit, I guess I could try to live stream, or just, I guess I could just cut the live stream and then just start it back up again. So as soon as we hit the exit, folks, I got to end the stream, and I do apologize for that. We are approaching an hour and a half, which I'm thankful for, and I want to thank, you know, Justin for driving or what have you. It's just, I can't thank him enough for offering me the ride like this. I mean, I don't know what I would have done had it not been for him, or where I would have gotten the ride, but I did.
My pleasure, man. It was good having you.
Yeah. Well, try making it interesting, and then again, if I don't live stream it up, or I might live stream later on. Well, I don't know. There really wouldn't be all that much to live stream about, unfortunately. So I'll try to make it interesting. So, folks, I got to let you go. Thanks for tuning in. We are exiting. So, what is his channel? He doesn't have a channel. So, not everyone does. It's okay. It's okay. But I thank you for tuning in to this one. I'll be cutting it out. And then if I decide that I want to come back, you know, stay tuned. But if not, I guess if you don't hear from me in the next few minutes, just assume that I've already gone to bed. So again, I gotta cut this short, and I'll talk to you in a little bit. All right, ending live broadcast. Cool.